everyone, Tina here. I hope your day's going wonderful. I'm so glad you're joining me. Well, I have a fun project to share with you. We're going to make a pretty floral card, and the stamp set that I'm using is part of Simon Says Stamp STAMPtember event. This is a very exclusive stamp set. It's actually a stamp set and die set combo, and I do want to mention that if you love the stamp set, get it now because it's limited supplies, and when they're gone, they're gone. The stamp set's just stunning. It's called Posh Roses. If you love roses, roses are great all year round. And today I'm going to make a non-traditional color roses, and I'm actually going to share with you a very easy way to color in these roses. It creates a stunning rose, but very easy to create. So let's jump in and get started. First off, we're going to do our stamping, and I thought we would bring a little elegance to our card by doing a little stamping and heat embossing with some gold embossing powder. In the stamp set, there's these two flowers that are connected together, but then there's also two single flowers, and those are the ones that we're going to stamp on our card project today. We're going to stamp this beautiful trio of leaves, and then we'll also stamp the individual leaves that are in our stamp set. I'm just going to pick these up with the lid of my stamping positioner, and then I'm going to treat my paper with my anti-static powder tool. We're going to go over our images with Versamark ink. Give that a good press. I'm going to stamp it once more for good measure. And then I'm going to bring in my gold embossing powder, and we'll just go over these. Just give that a good tap, and then I'll use my heat gun, and we're going to go ahead and melt this. Wonderful. And those are my beautiful florals. Okay, now is the fun part. I get to share with you a very quick and easy way to color in these florals and leaves that create real pretty results in no time at all. First off, I have a green marker. This is G40. It's a Copic marker. And all I'm going to do is go over my leaves with this. Go right over that embossing area. I'm going to do that to all three of my leaves that we stamped here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so you can see. So we have the light color of ink on our leaves. Now I'm going to use a darker green ink. It has to be darker, and I'm using my Simon Says Stamp Pawsitively Saturated Field ink. And then using my detail blending brush, what I'm going to do is pick up a little bit of ink. I'm going to add it to the base so it's kind of intense, and then I'm going to kind of fade up a little bit. And the beautiful thing about this is, as long as you stay inside your gold embossed area, your results are just going to be stunning. And I'll do my final leaf here. Kind of fade up a little bit. And that is all there is to that. So we have a beautiful gradient that didn't take any time at all. Basically what we're going to do next is the same thing with our florals. I'm going to create some teal colored flowers. So I have my Copic marker that is BG11, and all I'm going to do is go over the entire flower with this color. I'll do this to both of them. Now I'm going to take my Simon Says Stamp Pawsitively Saturated Raindrop ink, and then we're going to add a little color, concentrating in the middle and fading out. I like a really dark center, so I'm going to really ink it up in the center and just kind of fade it out a little bit. And look how pretty that is. Just gorgeous. Now, I'm going to do the same thing to this one. I'm going to find the flower center, really concentrate that ink there, and then just kind of fade out a little bit. This just takes no time at all, and it creates really pretty flowers. And our flowers are all done. It took no time at all, and it's just a beautiful result. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and line up the coordinating dies, and we're going to cut out our florals. Once our images are die cut out, we're going to flip them over, and I'm going to add some foam tape behind each one of our elements. I'm going to tuck some of these, so I'm only going to add one foam tape. Now I'm going to put these to the side, and we're going to do a little bit more die cutting. I'm going to die cut out a couple frames. We're using the A7 frames die set. This is new, part of STAMPtember. And this is for A7 cards, but it's great for A2 cards too. And we're going to die cut this out twice with some white cardstock. I'll do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have two frames now. I also have another piece of white cardstock. What I'm going to do is take one of those frames. I'm going to line it up in the corner here. And then I'm just going to use my scissors, and I'm going to trim a background for this. And then I'm going to take this panel, and we're going to do a little ink blending with this. I think teal and oranges go beautifully together. So I'm going to bring in my stamp and stencil mat and some inks. I'm using my Pawsitively saturated terracotta and clay ink here. I'm going to start off with clay. And I'm just going to add a little bit of ink at the very bottom and kind of fade up. I want to kind of go at an angle. So when I ink blend, I just want to make sure that I leave some of the white area here. Lovely. After we have this done, I'm going to bring in my darker orange ink, which is terracotta, and I'm going to add some darker ink to the very bottom. Lovely. That's all there is to my background. We're going to go ahead and remove this, and then I'm going to glue my frame around the edge of this. So we're just going to flip this over, add some glue. And then we'll tack this down here. And then with the second frame, I'm going to add this. I'm going to place it kind of wonky right over the top. Just like that. I'm going to secure it. A little bit of glue here. And a little glue here. Just tack this down. And a little glue on the top. There we go. Now we're going to arrange our flowers right over this. I think that's a good spot, and we'll scoot this down here. And I'll add this one over here. And I think that makes a real pretty floral arrangements. So now I'm going to press it really good so they're all adhered. And there we go. I'm going to flip this over. We're going to put some foam tape behind here. So now we have a little dimension. I like a lot of dimension on my card. If you don't like a lot of dimension, skip adding foam tape behind here. Okay, before we call this one done, I'm going to bring in a little something extra. I'm using my Simon Says Stamp Positively Perfect White Splatter Medium. I'm going to shake it up really good. And I'm just going to add some splatter to this. Let me bring in my box. And then we're going to dip our brush in here. And then we're going to do a little splattering. I wanted to maybe just a little more. Wonderful. So now we have a little splatter. This is going to take a little bit of time to dry. So while this dries, I'm going to bring in a background stamp from Simon Says Stamp. This one has some pretty leafy florals in it. It's actually called the Talavera Vine. And I'm going to stamp this on my card base, directly on my card base. I'm going to go bold, and I'm just going to use some black ink. I'm going to use my VersaFine Clear, and we're just going to ink this up. Now I'm going to take my top bolding card base, I'm going to flip it over, and we're just going to line it up here. Give it a good press. I'm actually just going to use some scratch paper and go over it. Okay, I think that is good. Let's go ahead and take a look. Look how gorgeous that is. Such a beautiful pattern, and I love it in black. I'm going to go ahead and take our Posh roses, and we'll go ahead and remove the release paper off of the back here. I'm going to place it a little bit wonky since our frames are wonky. I think placing the frame a little bit at an angle is going to go really well. Now I'm going to go ahead and stamp our grading. I love that the Pretty Pink Posh Roses stamp set has the 3 greetings. You have many thanks, sending love, and thinking of you. But the coordinating die has the die that will cut out the greeting also. So I love that because I love popping up my greetings. So I'm going to take the thinking of you. I already put it on an acrylic block. I'm just going to stamp it on my white cardstock here. Wonderful. And then I'll just take the coordinating die and we will cut this out. I did pop up my greeting with a small foam square. We're just going to center it on that background panel. And then for finishing touches, I'm going to bring in my Simon Says Stamp Pawsitively Dazzling Gems. This is Prism. Prism has a real pretty iridescent tone to it, so I think it's going to go perfect. When you have a busy background, I kind of like a neutral gem. So we're just going to add a few gems. We'll just funnel these back. I always like to add odd numbers, so I added 3 up here and then 2 down here. And then I'm also going to bring in my white gel pen, and I'm going to add some dots to my flower centers. The flower centers are really dark, so my white gel pen is going to go with those white splatter. Wonderful. And that finishes my card today. I hope this gives you a little bit of inspiration with the Simon Says Stamp and Pretty Pink Posh STAMPtember stamp set called Posh Roses. There's a coordinating die set that goes with it. This is for a limited time, so if you love this stamp set as much as I do, you want to pick it up now, because when they're gone, they're gone. Thanks so much for joining us today. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.